My name is Tess de Herrera. I refer to Jeremiah 1 verse 5 where he says, I knew you when you were in your mother's womb. And I feel that I was born with a little more courage or boldness than the average bear, but that's who I am because the Lord knew that what was ahead of me. Having been raised in a domestically violent home, I was the firstborn, and I had a father who was 6 foot, and he was a violent guy. I was told that I had been thrown against a wall when I was a toddler, and then later on as a teenager, I remember very vividly physically duking it out with my father. I have a misaligned jaw. I've had bruised ribs, and to the point where I've been knocked out cold. I was a little bitter, but I went forth with my life, and I ended up getting pregnant with my first child. And later on, I did go on to marry the father, but I still brought a lot of junk from my youth into that marriage, and a lot of anger. And needless to say, it didn't work out. And later moved on into a second marriage and thought, well, maybe I'll just do the opposite and be quite a quiet, subservient, overly subservient person. And I ended up in a domestically violent relationship. I escaped the marriage later to only be accused of kidnapping and went to jail for it. I didn't serve time, but I was arrested for it. We had just went shopping, my husband and I, for Christmas, and we lived in a cul-de-sac, and all of a sudden we were surrounded by these black cars, and people came out of nowhere, and they surrounded us, surrounded the car. They pulled me out and said, you were under arrest for kidnapping. And at that moment, I lost vision. I lost my ability to hear. I couldn't hear what they were saying. I lost my sight. I went dumb. I couldn't speak, and they had put a phone on my ear, and they said it was social services telling me that they were pulling my daughter out of school to put her in a foster home. I went back and forth through the courts for the last 7 years. I had to do supervised visitation from here. I had to fly to Spokane, Washington, and do visitation out of a hotel. The Lord told me a long time ago that she was going to run away. But he said that my grace is sufficient and she's going to have a covering over her. Even though I begged Angelique, promise me you'll never run away. I knew that she was going to do it. I knew she was. So I got a phone call a year and a half ago from her father about 2 o'clock in the morning. He said, I just want you to know I have Angelique and she's okay. The police got her. She ran away. And I wasn't shocked at all. And he said, I want you to know, how do you feel about Angelique coming home? I thought that was a dumb question. We'll put her on a plane and she's coming home. And she's with us now. And she is maybe the few handfuls of people I know that has so much courage. She has courage and integrity. She's the most loyal human being I know besides my husband. She has been through so many obstacles herself. I know that with just the obstacles she's been through, that the Lord has so much more for her. She's going to be a dynamo. Through obedience came blessings, peace, and a lot of healing, especially in my marriage. Through all of this, I have been blessed with a wonderful marriage. And that is not through my might or through my husband's might. It has been through grace, obedience, and a lot of humility to each other. I have no regrets that the way my life has played out with all of the bad, and I have no bitterness with what happened to me. And the greatest revenge is sitting here full of joy, full of health, and a willingness to look forward to the next obstacle with a little more strength.